Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Let's continue the lesson The Snake and the Mirror, Part 3. I didn't know whether the snake was male or female, as I will never know. For the snake unwound itself from my arm and slowly slithered into my lap. So the snake was first, so it was coiled around his left arm. So now it unwounded itself, it opened itself and slowly went into the doctor's lap. From there, it crept onto the table and moved towards the mirror. Perhaps it wanted to enjoy its reflection at closer quarters, so it wanted to see its image closely. I was no mere image cut in granite. I was suddenly a man of flesh and blood. Still holding my breath, I got up from the chair. I quietly went out through the door into the veranda, and from there I leapt into the yard and ran for all I was worth. So, what does it mean? I was no mere image cut in granite. So, earlier, when the snake was near him, he was sitting like an image, a stone image, without even taking the breath. I was suddenly a man of flesh and blood. So now he became a man. He became active. Still holding his breath. What did he do? He got up from the chair. He was still holding the breath because he was again fearful of the snake. So he was still holding his breath. Quietly he went out of the room into the veranda, and from there he leapt into the sands, jumping very high, and ran for all I was worth. He ran very fast. How much he could, that much he ran. Whew. Each of us heaved a sigh of relief. So all of them sighed out a deep breath. All of us lit BDs. So now to relax, they lighted their BDs. Actually, smoking is injurious to health. We must note that. Somebody asked, "Doctor, is your wife very fat?" "No," the doctor said. "God willed otherwise." What does it mean? God willed. Willed means he wanted something else. This is quite opposite of what I wanted. I wanted a fat lady, but God gave me a thin one. My life companion means my wife is a thin, reedy person. Reedy in the sense unpleasant, not pleasant, with the gift of a sprinter. Sprinter means a fast runner. So you can see the word reedy here. Reedy, not pleasant, and sprinter. Sprinter is a fast runner. So he said, "No, my wife is a thin person, not much looking much pleasant, and she has a gift of a fast runner. She can run fast." Someone else asked, "Doctor, when you ran, did the snake follow you?" The doctor replied, "I ran and ran till I reached a friend's house. Immediately, I smeared all over myself and took a bath. I changed into fresh clothes. The next morning at about 8:30, I took my friend. I took my friend and one or two others to my room to move my things from there. But we found we had little to carry. Some thief had removed most of my things. The room had been cleaned out, but not really. The thief had left behind one thing as a final insult." "What was that?" I asked. The doctor said, "My vest, the dirty one." That fellow had such a sense of cleanliness. So the rascal could have taken it and used it after washing it with soap and water. "Did you see the snake the next day, doctor?" The doctor laughed. "I have never seen it since. It was a snake which was taken with its own beauty." Meaning of taken with? Attracted by. So one of them inquired, "Doctor, did the snake follow you?" So the doctor replied, "What? I ran and ran so fast that I reached my friend's house. Immediately I applied. Smeared means what? Applied oil all over myself and took a bath. I changed into fresh clothes. I changed my clothes also. The next morning, at about 8:30 or so, I took my friend, close friend, and one or two others in his locality, and so to vacate his room, to move his things from there. Actually, why he wanted to vacate the room? Because he was so much feared. So there was no problem with the room. But once the snake visited and he was feared, so he can't live there. But there was nothing in the room. Everything was vacant. You can see here. The room is cleaned out. The thief has taken everything from his room. So, what did the thief do? They had very little to carry. Nothing was left out. Thief had stolen everything. And the room was cleaned out. But not really. The thief had left one thing as a final insult for the doctor. And what was that thing? His dirty vest, which he had only one. That's what he says. That fellow had such a sense of cleanliness. Being a thief, he has a sense of cleanliness too, which the doctor, educated person, does not have. That's why he says the rascal could have taken it and washed with soap and water. He could have used that, no? So another person asked him, "Did you see the snake the next day, doctor?" Then he said, "No, no, I have never seen it since. But it was a snake which was taken away with its own beauty." Written by Waiko Muhammad Bashir. Here ends the story. Thank you, Jazakallah Khaira.